All right. The time has come. The time has come to do something. Well, as I said, welcome everybody to our, I guess, regular for this year time slot on Sundays for some relaxed drawing, painting, or some other creative exercise we would like to do. So today, I don't know yet what is it gonna be, but recently I have purchased a new set of colors, paints, and these seem to be I don't know if they're unique or there is something special about this watercolor, but it's not even watercolor, it's Kuretake Gansai Tambi, which is, I think, well, it is watercolor, but it has much more pigment, apparently. So the color is supposed to be very opaque and juicy. So it said on the packaging, which I threw away, that you can use it as kind of as gouache if you use a lot of it, then it behaves like gouache. If you use a little bit, it behaves like watercolor. So let's see if that's true and how does that even work. And the little doodle here I have was just a marker sketch in the morning with a coffee that I drew. It was just this piece of paper laying around and one marker, I think it's Copic marker. So I thought we can use this doodle kind of as maybe North Star for where we're going today. So that would be kind of the goal, but the paint will be the star of the show, I hope. So, first of all, it's worth just sampling the paint that we got. So, it's not a real set that was available in the shop. They also were selling separate trays of color. They also have sets, but I picked up my own set with indigo, which is, I think, the best blue color you can get. Horizon blue, which you haven't heard before. Cadmium yellow, just for the juicy, bright areas. Cadmium red, seems like I like cadmium. Burnt sienna, obviously. You need something burnt in your palette. And finally, raw umber deep. So if you're looking to recreate this palette that I have, these are the colors that I use today. But let's see if these colors actually are any good. First, let's just swatch them. So we have 6 colors. Let's do like 6 little rectangles. And as always, we're gonna end today's stream with a little improvised music jam on the Roland MC101 groove box, just like we did the last 2 streams. I think it's a fun-ish way to end the stream on something different, so let's see how that works. Hello Nervan, good morning. What are you up to today? What are you gonna knit this stream, if anything? New paints, Japanese watercolors. Let's see how good they are. So if you take quite some of this watercolor paint, it's very dark. If you use some more water, you can make it very light, surprisingly. Maybe I haven't mentioned it. Well, actually, let me test something. I think the commands in the chat should work now. So if you type !Discord, I think you will get a link to Discord. Let me test it real fast. Still working on 200 hours knit sweater. You will get there eventually. You already have the most complicated part, I think. The rest is just, you know, just knitting. Apparently the commands don't work. Discord links. Nothing works. Okay, give me a moment. There is chatbot, chat commands. Oh, it's a different bot that has all the different commands. Do you have custom commands? I have custom commands. This should work. Okay, let's try this again. Let's set this to reply and save. And now if you type !links, let's do this again. works. Oh, I see it, Nervin, if you can check. I think it answers you in like private messages. Okay, let's change that. Let's change that to saying things. And now we can wait. Try Discord again. Oh, you already tried. Okay. So now theoretically there is Discord. Is there Discord? Discord is not coming. Yeah, it should do the thing. Let's try Discord again. There we go. Now it's working. And also there is Patreon. If you didn't know, it exists. I haven't posted anything there yet. It's kind of still building up, but I think from January next year, there will be some things there that might be interesting. And also we have this command for references. No, this one. Let's. There we go. Now I think you know all the commands. All right, so that was a bit of a detour, but now that we know that the commands are working, we can continue with this coloring exercise. Thank you, Norvin, for testing. Indeed, very vibrant colors so far. Even not that much of the pigment or of the paint gives you this rich Maybe we should focus more on Dutch themes, since I'm based in the Netherlands. I thought maybe to get more people involved in these streams, I should, look for some Dutch topics, either something Dutch to draw or just, engage with local communities and things that are happening around. It's a very nice blue. The horizon blue is very beautiful, pale blue color. Now I see why it's called horizon blue. finally, of course, the best blue color, indigo. All this link spamming in the chat was completely random because there is a Discord community for you to join if you would like to share your art or just stay in the loop of what's happening with the studio. I think Discord is the most casual of all the social media channels that this studio has. Alright, so these are the colors we have to work with today. Surprisingly, the two blues, when you just use a little bit of water with them, they both look very similar. One maybe is a little less saturated than the other. But I wonder if these colors will work for this sketch here. Yeah, this yellow, this one you mean, right? This almost orange yellow is very juicy. I also like it. I will just take this sketch and try to recreate it in a few little areas. Well, no, I mean, I will redraw this sketch and then we can see how to apply these colors to this sketch. I see these mountains kind of brownish, like this clay color. The sky can be blue, and then these yellows and reds we can use for like highlights of the roofs of the sunset. Let's see. So, sorry for the delay. How is it going with everyone there? Is anyone drawing something along or just enjoying a cup of tea or coffee? I don't even know if our viewers are based in the Netherlands or Europe in general. I know there are a couple of people in the US who also join the streams sometimes, even though it's, you know, very late at night there. But to those midnight watchers, I say thank you for being here. And welcome to the stream. Hope you get nice dreams afterwards. I've been also posting on Instagram lately a little bit more. And one of the things I found fun to do there is to post kind of polls or voting things for people to vote on, you know, what type of house it should be or which house looks nicer. To me, it was fun because when I post these kind of things, I don't really care what kind of house is gonna get picked to paint, because ultimately I just want to paint the house. And not literally, I painted the house recently when I needed to move out. That it wasn't bad, but it's a different experience than painting a house in watercolor. I was going somewhere with this thought. Oh yeah, so it doesn't matter for me which house to paint, but it's fun to see how people, like, which designs resonate with people more, and what is their preference. And because it's social media, if you want to get likes and views, and in general get your art promoted, you get to engage the audience. And with everybody being on social media and kind of seeing already so much of the stuff, I think people are really tired. I don't want to project my own tiredness of that, but I have a feeling that people are kind of tired from being forced to engage. And every time that I'm listening to a podcast, there are people saying like, comment, and subscribe. What other actions you need to do to help the project succeed, which now doing it myself a little bit more regularly, I can see why. It's just a bit diluting maybe to the experience. I also think at some point people would already know how stuff works, right? Like, people watch so much content on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot that it seems like it should become a second nature for maybe younger generations, or for anyone really, to just know how that stuff works. That if you like the video, then it's gonna get promoted to other people, and if you comment, then it's gonna get promoted harder, because that indicates more interest from the viewers. And obviously a lot of these algorithms are kind of hidden behind closed doors because it's how companies make money. It's like this whole story with TikTok in the US and that like they want to be the US kind of wants to have TikTok's algorithm because it's so good. Yes, at least from this side of Atlantic Ocean, that's how it looks like to me. But yeah, for me that's a bit of a dilemma because on one side I want people to come here and doodle something with me along the way, because to like for me the maybe main purpose of these streams is just to share the fun of doing stuff, and it doesn't have to be, you know, pretty or perfect or even good, as long as it's fun and enjoyable in the process. And I think if I can get people on board with that, I would be pretty happy with the outcomes of this exercise. I'm trying to just imagine how this sketch would look like with different color palettes. I'm not sure exactly how I will use these colors in the bigger piece, but for now let's just estimate. This whole engagement thing on social media, I kinda similar to what I was rambling about last time. With voting with your actions, that, you know, everything you click on or watch or not watch is kind of like a vote for that thing to get energy. You know, like what they say about social media, that like the way those companies make money, it all seems free, but actually you pay with your attention. And that sounds a bit strange, I guess, if you really think about it. You know, like, how does attention convert into money? Because it's not like you can buy something for your attention or like sell it and get something in return. But ultimately that's how it works, right? You spend time on the platform, you engage with the content, it gets you, what you get is entertainment, I guess, or what we get as users of this entertainment, and maybe some feeling of social connections. But ultimately you just engage with the content that then gets more views and then gets pushed to more people. And that is, I think, how, you as a user of these systems like internet, how you're responsible for what's happening there. I mean, obviously you're not responsible for everything that's happening on the internet. That would be very tough job. But if you engage with the content that you don't like, for example, or don't, even the opposite also is kind of true. If you do engage with the things you don't like, or not engage with the things you like or would like to see more of, all of that is telling those algorithms on the background what to prioritize. And I think in that sense we're all contributing to how internet feels and looks like. It's similar to, I guess, how like celebrities and politicians get their bread. If you're causing ruckus on social media and make people talk about you, you increase your visibility. That in turn increases the influence you have on people, because if everybody knows someone who is very active on social media, you get these scandals all the time. Like even with, let's take a simple example. The president of the United States, right? He's always posting something. He is always on the news, even though you might wonder if any of this noise actually does anything to the people who elected him for the president. I personally don't think so, but I don't live in the US, so I don't know. If anybody living there wants to comment on the topic, be my guest. But let's not turn this into a political stream. But all I'm meant to say with this is that there is, in a way, method to this madness. Like people who are just constantly posting or creating shitstorms on different social media platforms. They do that on purpose, and it works for them because it is how those algorithms and platforms are meant to perform the best. And doesn't matter if you put garbage in or some meaningful content. Kind of the same with AI. If you doesn't matter to the AI itself, right? If you're trying to come up with a solution to world hunger, or if you're just trying to put glue on pizza for some reason. For AI, both of those seem like great ideas. Equally interesting to follow. by looking at these 4 doodles, do you already have a preference? Is there one color combination that speaks to you more? I'm kind of debating between, let's number them for easier reference. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm kind of looking at the number 1 and 3. Although I do like the yellow sky, I think it adds something. Maybe I try another one with yellow skies, brown mountains, and very brown foreground. So all of that obviously is to say that you should follow me on Instagram and engage with the content there. As well as participate in polls and voting activities. I haven't done Telegram voting in a while. Sometimes in the past I would post there. Like you can react in Telegram, if you don't know, to messages with different emojis. And you can select how many emojis you want to have as a maximum when you post. So I posted there a couple of times in the past picture with like 9 thumbnails and then 9 different emojis to vote with. And some people would vote on what to draw. So that's also engagement. Instagram, sometimes I do polls in stories there. That's also fun. Eventually, when we get some more people on Discord, we can do like community votes there as well. YouTube also has polls. But I haven't tried it yet. Another chill Sunday with coffee stream, says Harinovna on YouTube. Thank you for joining. It is one of those chill Sunday coffee streams, indeed. Seems like Sunday is a good time to draw something, because, you know, I was thinking about evening time slots or during the week. I still want to do Wednesday, I think, Wednesday evening. I mean, evening EU time. But that, I think, more of a maybe like behind the scenes kind of stream slot. So it's more about maybe designing the studio logo or thinking about the first print for the shop, or drawing, don't know what else, banners for Patreon rewards. Anyway, I feel like there is more to share than this, which also can be fun for others. So if that's something that you would be curious about, do let me know. It can be more of a behind the scenes / experimental type of stream on Wednesdays, and more specifically maybe art focused streams on Sundays. How about that? So what do you think, guys? Do any of these sketches make more sense to you than the others? I like the pale blue sky and the yellow sky the most, I think. I think out of all these, number one is still color-wise and feels like the best. Nervin says 1 of 4. I also think 1 of 4, but is it 1 or is it 4? Maybe they need another round side by side. Sakarinovna also likes number 1 the most on YouTube. So YouTube says number 1. Twitch says number 1 of 4. Let's explore number 1 then a little bit more. So what I want to have is like very thick layer at the top, which then radiates out. I like a bit of blue in the bottom of 4. Maybe it could be added to 1. This blob. Yeah, this one adds some interest. Let's just add it to this one as well. Good spot. I also haven't really tried any combinations of these colors. Like so far it's all been very full color, like it's unmixed. But I wonder what other colors can we achieve with these 6 colors. In general, I like minimalistic color palettes because it kind of, like limitations in general, they often lead you to something more fun, or at least for me they tickle my brain in an enjoyable way. For example, for my street sketching, I either have this palette here, like a little side note. This one made out of organic mints, tin jar books. Some of these already got gone, but in general it was like 2 yellows, 2 blues, 3 browns, and 3 reds. Well, there are 2 greens as well for trying out. But overall, very minimal palette. Or even more minimal. Let's see if it's around. Which it isn't. Well, the other thing I wanted to show is so minimalistic that I can't find it anywhere. But it's a container from contact lenses. You maybe have seen it on the past stream of sorts. But the container for contact lenses you can buy kind of everywhere, in drugstore, in pharmacy. So that one has 2 compartments, and I feel like it's a perfect size for one, like burnt umber or something brownish, orangish, and something more big. Well, I use a deal, that one. And then you have, ultimately you have 3 colors. You have these, I can show those colors separately. Like you have this kind of orange brown warm thingy. You have these indigo blue, and you have a third color, or third set of colors, which you can get by combining. And that gives you kind of like a dark gray. Need to replace these brushes. Started to leak. But it gives you this nice off brown, or depending on which color you add more, like either warm or cold gray. So you get 3 colors in just one contact lens container. And it closes pretty well, because contact lenses you also put liquid there, so like it's waterproof, the container itself. And then you can just put it in the pocket with your tiny water brush. And that's all you need to take with you on a hike or something. Let's try add some maybe red highlights to this. You know, or maybe yellow, where the houses will be. Alright, think number, there is 1A, there is 1B. I think this 1A and 1B work pretty well. Yes. I think even 1A with a little bit of this yellow warmth works a little bit better. So we will go with this one, if there are no objections from anyone. Find the right piece of paper for it. This is going to be the right piece of paper for today. How to put it so it looks cool on the screen. So Karina now also wants 1A. Then we're up to something here. Nervin, I'd also all in for 1A. It's a different paper though than the one. Yes, 1A approved. Right. This paper is different, so I wonder if the paint will behave differently on it as well. First, let's just redraw the sketch with this, I guess. I mean, this sketch doesn't have to be perfect in general because it's a sketch and it doesn't need to be perfect, but also because this all was drawn from imagination, so that kind of, you know, it doesn't matter how accurate it is because it's not real. But you know, we'll put our horizon line somewhere in the top third. Add some like big mountain, maybe like a small cliff. Some of these mountains in the background, and then just go all in on these hills overlapping. Here, this part I imagined is a river. I don't know if I want to add it or keep it, but I guess we don't need it. I'm not sure if it's even, you know, readable as a river, so maybe it just distracts from. Is pencil visible on this? Yeah. It is. It's. Also, if anyone has done some art project recently, or has, well, I mean, I call it art project. It can be also not art, but something, creative to do. Maybe a photo shoot or a piece of music. Don't be afraid to share that stuff if you would like to. This front hills need some more space, I think. What else did I want to bring today? There was some other topic I wanted to share, but I don't remember it, so I guess another time. I will change the direction of this road a bit. I think it will go this way. And then kind of like this. And then behind this hill. The other annoying thing about social media that I've recently figured out is that not only it's demanding in terms of your presence there and your activity and everything that you do needs to be pleasing the lords of the algorithm, but beyond that, it's also very punishing if you don't do what it wants. So for example, with YouTube, if you post a video, first, I think, like if it's first video or if you haven't posted in a while, it's gonna get promoted by YouTube quite a bit. And you can get a lot of views. But then if you don't post same level of engagement video afterwards, your next videos won't be shown as much. And if you post a video that performs really well, but then post a different video, maybe on a different topic, that isn't as engaging, then all those algorithms, they will literally like demote you in the rankings and put you at the bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel. So it's kind of very inhumane. You know, it's demanding a lot without giving much. Or like it rewards people who do the algorithm liking things, and it really punishes those who don't. So that is another reason why it's important to support your indie creators and people who you want to succeed or just want to see more of on the internets. Don't be shy in, you know, promoting and supporting what you love. Very profound thoughts today. I kind of like these houses better than what I have here so far, but maybe we can get it. I like that some houses just don't fit in the frame. Just at some houses in the distance. Maybe with some trees along the road. The cool thing about roads when you draw them is that there are these things you can use to make it feel like it's going far into the distance. One of those things is trees, because obviously they're roughly the same size if they're the same age and species. So you can kind of put them along the road and make them smaller in the distance, and I feel like it gives this impression of depth. The same goes with like posts along the road, you know, like if you have either maybe guardrails or some like lamp posts or direction posts. In any case, we can always put bushes and trees around the houses to hide all the imperfections and all the rough corners. Maybe some distant houses as well on the other side of the river. I think we're getting close to finishing this pencil part of the sketch. For now, these streams are just, you know, a way to get some time in, maybe for drawing, or, well, last time it was lino cutting, so that, or like today, you know, trying out the new medium. And I wonder, you know, as a screen person, is this, and for now I think it's okay, right? Like I just want to stream, share the process, and maybe inspire someone else to doodle, or just entertain someone's morning. But is there more value that this stream can be bringing to people? Does it? I mean, obviously it doesn't have to. But should it? Maybe it should, maybe not. But that is something I'm pondering about. So if you have some suggestions or feedback, first, feedback is always appreciated. Feel free to either write it in the comments to this video when it's available as a video, or just write it on Discord, as was said before. But other than that, I've been thinking, you know, like, what can be good use of our time here? For now, I think it's good use, and we're drawing and chilling, which is the main point of all of this. But at the same time, we can be either learning something more intently, you know, watercolor, some other media. I'm also up for trying out media I don't know how to use, like with lino cutting. I don't really know how to do it. I just cut, and that's it. But let me know how you found the previous stream, if it was along the lines of what you expected and would like to see, because, you know, for now, it's just this. On Wednesdays, maybe there would be like a behind the scenes type of stream, or maybe studio working stream. But it doesn't have to be, first of all, and second, it can be something else. Because there are some products I would like to be pushing in my shop that I haven't made yet. I mean, the shop I have, the products I haven't made. And I think it might be fun also for if there are other EU-based artists who would like to have a studio and would like to do this thing. Maybe I can just share the journey that I'm going on, and if anyone finds themselves in similar situation, they would be at least a behind the scenes look into how it works, how it is to have a studio and streaming art and all that. I mean, it's probably too early to tell, or too early to be helpful, but at the same time, I'm just at the beginning of this journey, and I don't think I will be at the beginning of it forever. So, hopefully. So I think it might be useful to share like the pitfalls and maybe some things on how it works. So other artists who want to stream or produce products, and they could also just follow along. I don't mind competition, it's more fun if there are more people doing this stuff. So far, I really like these watercolors, let's say. They're very even, the color is really nice, and they're very smooth to work with. So I can highly recommend it. And if Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors want to sponsor me, I'm open to their products. Because our sky is blue, we can add this blue color as well in the shades, because obviously the shadows are often sky color as well. Especially those surfaces that point upwards. I think that's why this sketch, like this spot on the sketch number 4, I think works really well, because it just gives this feeling of natural light. When you mix this pale blue with this brown, it gives you this really interesting gray color. I think it would be really great for snow scenes, or like winter scenes. What if I turn off this light? Will it make it easier to watch? Is this better? I feel like the light was reflecting a lot in these blobs of color and made it a bit hard to see. Let me know if this is any better or actually worse. On screen it kind of looks okay. Just gonna mark some of these houses with the same. What is this color called? Burnt umber? Burnt sienna. And this one is raw umber. Okay. Sienna and umber. The houses will get some more treatment with brighter color, I think, because at least some of them are in the sun, or so I assume. The tricky part about watercolor is that it's very hard to put bright things on dark things. But with these watercolors, theoretically, so I've heard, is that they have so much pigment that you can use them almost as gouache if you put enough of them on the put enough paint. So we will see. This is just the first pass. Most likely be a couple more passes. Just adding some warmth to these, to the tops of the heels. And I think it's gonna be mostly between this umber and the sky blue. Horizon blue, not sky blue. Left for 2 minutes to get chocolate milk and sudden masterpiece emerged. Well, thank you for your kindness, but you know, that's what happens if you give in to your chocolate milk cravings. You miss the transformation of a stupid sketch into a masterpiece. I didn't know you were getting chocolate milk. In the meantime, I changed the lighting while you were doing that. Can you tell me if the lighting is fine? Or should I turn the lamp back on? I think it looks good to me. I think with watercolors. Thank you, Dora. I think with watercolors, it's pretty nice to draw from further distance to closer distance, because ultimately you're just doing many layers of watercolors, right? So you just do one first pass from top to bottom, doing the first layer of watercolors. Then you can just leave the top part, because you know, usually with atmospheric perspective, the things in the distance are less saturated and less contrasty, have lower contrast. That's a better way to put it. And because of that, you can just leave part of it as it is and just do another layer on, like, on the ground plane, for example, and then do the same but only on the mid-ground, and then finally do the same but just on the foreground. At least that's how it worked for me a couple of times. Let's add some sun to this. I haven't done paintings like this in quite a long time, when, you know, like, you're actually painting something, you know, like last time we had these guys. This is fun to draw, and some of them, like this one for example, looks very fun to me, but it's very easy and straightforward. You're just doodling along and that's it. Whereas here, there has to be some process to this madness, you know, like you need to wait certain times for stuff to draw, or, you know, not make, or not really not make mistakes, but kind of know how to fix your mistakes, or just live with them, which I think is also an option. Like here, for example, I don't know. I don't like how this stuff worked out. But I think we're gonna just live with it. Or alternatively, we can try adding some pale blue back on top of it to blend it in with the shadowy parts. Okay, let's darken up these trees a bit in the foreground. And the closer the things are, the darker they will get, the more saturation they will have, the more contrast. So these poles, for example, we can make pretty dark because they will be on our foreground. Maybe some bushes here. And to make it maybe a little extra dark, we can try adding some of this indigo. And because I imagine the sun coming from the right side, because I mean we have this big blob of color on the mountains, because it's coming from the right side of the village will be darker because I think there are some bushes there. Maybe a forest or a grove. Another trick I've heard is a good thing to have in your arsenal is, you know, blending together the shadows instead of, you know, drawing them individually. Maybe there is a way to clamp them, like the darkest areas, together. And that apparently also produces a nice painterly effect. There is a lot to say about, you know, how that stuff works, why certain things look pretty or exciting, or, you know, why certain compositions work, why others don't. Maybe we'll get into those topics at some point. This is a second hill. And then we'll just, well, maybe I'll add some more water to this one. And just to blend it a little bit more. The foreground will get another layer, I think, because hard to see what's up. Just add some color variations to these, just, I don't know why, but maybe it helps bring out some of the darker areas. When this is dry, I will try to do what they advertised and use this watercolors gouache. Let's see if it actually can cover the dark areas. It might, because it is very pigmented. That I can already feel. Oops. Something dripped here. Let's just add some shading to these bad boys. It does really cover pretty well the existing layer of watercolor. So, you know what? I like this. Let's try to blend in the mountains a bit at the bottom as well. Because they wouldn't have so much light there. Okay, let's give this a moment to dry before we add another layer, maybe. let's give it another layer in a minute. Alrighty, while this is drying, I will just remind everyone that Discord exists and you should join us there. It's fun. Then, if you're watching this on Twitch, you know you can follow there. I don't think it does anything but sends you a notification that you can turn off to your email when the stream goes live, which might be something you want, might be something you don't. But what it also does, it tells Twitch that I worth something. And once we get to certain number of followers, Twitch will allow some more things to do, and I think they will promote the stream more, which is obviously appreciated. And then I think it will also open some new monetization options for me to turn on the stream. So if you're watching on Twitch, do follow. If you're watching on YouTube though, it's a completely different story, because you can do so much more on YouTube, especially if the video is already recorded. For example, you can subscribe, which is also important. Right now we have 27 subscribers, if I believe. At least it was the number before the stream. But we need 50 in order to turn on some features that could be useful either for monetization or for just producing content. Like, I think there are some functionalities that I can't use if my channel is not big enough, which right now it isn't. You can also like things on YouTube, which you can't really do on Twitch. Like, you can just follow on Twitch. You can also subscribe, which is a paid way of supporting. but that also is unavailable right now because we don't have enough viewers and subscribers. Not that I want to necessarily use that as my primary source of income from streams. I would rather have Patreon where I can actually talk with people and maybe do some Patreon only streams, something like that. Also on YouTube, you can, if you're watching this as a recording again, if you're watching it again, welcome back. You can comment, you can like, comment, and all of that tells YouTube that this stream is worth sharing with other YouTube viewers. I think another probably not a very smart thing about this streaming of mine is that I don't really have a topic or like a brand that people can expect to, like what people can expect to see from the streams. At least for now, it's very whatever happens type of stream, which, don't get me wrong, is probably its own values. But when you go on Instagram profiles of some successful artists with like thousands of followers, a lot of times their pages look kind of boring to me because it's all the same shit that they've been doing for years, and it's their brand, and this is how they get clients, and this is what they're recognized for. I don't think this is where I want to get with this stream. At least to a degree, I want to keep it loose and, both me and community driven. We can do whatever we want with this stream, right? Like we can learn creative coding on one Sunday, and then on the next Sunday maybe we do some linen carving or gouache or oil or something. I never painted with oil, by the way. Maybe that's something. I've heard good things about painting with oil though. A lot of people really like oil. I think part of it is because it dries so slow, you have time to work on it as much as you want. But I need to try for myself before I judge. For example, this Wednesday, let me know if you guys are interested in that, and that's something we would be willing to join in for. I was thinking maybe doing like a branding exercise. You know, obviously there needs to be some sort of branding done for the channel if we wanted to succeed and become a regular place for people to come and join along. For that, we do need some kind of little bit of branding. You know, the color, I've done a bit of that, you know, there is a logo we have and stuff like that, but there are a lot more things that we can be doing, and I thought it might be also fun to join in as a viewer with, you know, picking colors, doing the logo. I also thought we could do some hand-drawn animation for when somebody follows the stream or when a new subscriber joins on Twitch. We can also do like banners and stuff like that for social media websites. And if it's something that other people can benefit from, I don't know. I would hope so, especially if there are other artists who are also starting out their studio, which at the moment I doubt, but if you are an artist who is, you know, trying out to break into the industry of streaming, say hi in the chat or on Discord. Very loose this painting turns out so far. I kind of prefer my sketches to this one, let's say. But we shall see. Maybe there is a way to fix this mess. But first it needs to dry a little bit. Well, this is a mess, let's be honest. But that's okay, because it's also almost time for a little bit of music before the end of tonight's stream, today's. It's not the end yet, don't go away just now. Let this paint dry. Although maybe we'll let this paint dry off camera and switch to music making. Alright, true. I think we're up to something here. Sukharina says, very interesting how you say about your piece being a mess. I find it very lively and still having a warm soul that could be brought further. Thank you. It is a mess. I don't maybe mean it necessarily in a bad way, you know. It's not a bad mess. It's just needs some maybe a finer brushwork. Especially I feel like this further distance is maybe okay, but like the here in the front is just very abstract. I think it could benefit with just some fine brushwork, which I might do later today and post it on Instagram or everywhere else. But thank you. I appreciate your feedback. It's a lively mess. Let's agree on that. But for now, I will move these guys to the side. Play you the song of my people. As always, this music piece that is gonna be performed for you today is improvised live in front of your eyes. As usual, I don't know what project we have today to work with. I don't want to bother everyone with like building a track on this thing from scratch, which I think it could be fun, but it probably will be a different stream, not our Sunday art stream thing. Because I think Sunday art stream thing is more for some visual art, some trying with new technique, doodling stuff and whatnot. But a full-blown, music composition session could also take an hour or two. So for today, we'll just play along, have fun with whatever is waiting for us on this device. So let's give this a listen. Let's see. What do I have here? Hmm. Okay. Right now, there is nothing playing for some reason. Is it because the sound is not on? Interesting. What if we try a different project? Hmm. Well. Could it be that we don't have the music outro today? Oh, wait a second. I don't see. Okay, all right. I think I turned it back on. Okay, let's turn a different project. I think the previous one maybe was better. Duba project. If I remember correctly, it should be something with dub, but you never know. Well. If you have survived that far, thus far, I want to thank you for joining today's stream. If you enjoyed it, please do your thing. Let me know that you liked it, or if you didn't like, let me know what you didn't like. Feel free to send comments or likes over Discord. Thank you all for joining, and I hope to see you all next Sunday. Same time, same